What is going on, SHJ Army? We're back for another How To Tuesday. I'm officially back from Texas. I was there 9 days, 8 nights. Last week's videos were batched ahead of time, so I'm finally current. I can finally do announcements that make sense to the specific date. I have a couple of those, but first I want to talk about what we're talking about today, and that's how to get back into the swing of things, which not only makes sense for me because I just got back from vacation, but it also makes sense because we're still in these winter months, we're still in these holiday months where people are falling off track for Thanksgiving, where people are going to fall off a bit for Christmas, and I want to talk about how to quickly get back into the swing of things. I made the video on how to diet through the holidays that you could watch if you guys want a little bit more content based around that. But I do want to talk about this because I do think the hardest part is getting started and then forming that habit, and then once you get into the swing of things, it's kind of just grooving. So it is easier to fall off, stop, than it is to start and even restart back up. So I want to talk about how to go about doing that, why you would go about doing that, why to quickly come off and then go back on, for example. Before I get into that, I want to make a book club announcement. I did finish Air of Fire finally, so a review will be going up within this week. We also chose a book for this week's book club, which is going to be Time of Contempt, which is Witcher Book 2, because we read the first one, Blood of Elves, last month. I'm also going to be reading Mortal Engines and Feel the Fear, but Do It Anyway, which are two other books that did really well in the book club votes. Actually, Mortal Engines was voted for the same amount of times as this, but I figure we'll do this as the main book. I'll also read Mortal Engines for those of you who want to keep up, and I already have Feel the Fear on my Kindle and started reading it on the plane. So those are all books I'm going to be doing this month. If you guys want to keep up with any of them, the main book club, we're going to stay on track with The Witcher because we did enjoy it. And yeah, before I say too much, let's crack the monster, cue the music, and get into it. Alright, so let's talk about how to get back on track, how to get back into the swing of things, how to form a habit, how to get started, whatever you want to call it. I did videos on how to diet during the holidays, how to start working out, stuff like that, so it is maybe going to touch on some of those things, but I more so want to talk about forming habits or going on vacation or falling off and coming back right back on. So for me, for example, I just went away for 8 nights and 9 days to Texas, and in that span I only worked out a total of 3 different times. We did visit Alpha Elite in Houston, Texas. We went to Gold's Gym in, I believe, Austin, and then maybe San Antonio. Well, anyways, I hit 4 cities. That's Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas. We worked out 3 times. We did 2 days in each place. Worked out a total of 3 and 9 days. I don't think that's that bad. We did a push-pull legs, a little bit of full body, but the cool part was we were getting in miles and miles of walking. It would have been even more, but in Texas they have the Lime scooters or the Bird scooters or whatever the heck they're called. We use Lime, and we were just scootering around the cities for miles and miles, so that took away a little bit from my cardio. But I want to talk about what happens when you go on vacation. I want to talk about what happens when you fall off your diet for a bit, and why you should just get right back on track like this and not do one of those, oh, I'll start Monday, oh, I'll start January 1st, oh, I'll start next week. And I'm going to talk about that because I think people don't normally go away for 8 or 9 days. I think the normal duration is like 4 to 6 days or something like that. So I'm going to talk about it from both point of views. But either way, let's quickly look at what we've talked about from a calorie standpoint. A pound is 3,500 calories. So in order to gain 1 pound, you have to be over your maintenance level, or the level that's going to maintain your weight each day, by 3,500 calories total. So let's call that 500 calories per day for a total of 7 days per week. That's 3,500 calories. That's why when we're bulking or cutting, we tend to subtract 500 or add 500 or go even a little bit slower in either the academy or our superhero programs. That's generally how we do it. And then we play with that a little bit and we expand the range or we lower it. If we know that, let's say, for example, now I went on vacation for these, we'll call it 7 days just to make it easy. Well, I went away for these 7 days, and I'm looking to not really worry about my calories, kind of just eat. One thing I did was I still intermittent fasted just because that's when my body likes to eat. I didn't fast until 2 every single day, but some days I ate at 12, some days I ate at 3 or 4, so that's just how my body works. So even when we went out and we'd go out for breakfast or something, I'd get like a Diet Coke, a coffee, I'd hang out. I went with 2 of my buddies. If they wanted to eat, they could eat. I was still hanging out. I wasn't that hungry, so I still intermittent fasted, not purposefully. One of the days I got pancakes just to get it because I wanted pancakes. So that's one thing I kept on track. Like I said, we worked out a couple times, but for the most part, I didn't track calories. So what I thought about before I left, so if I'm staying in a normal cutting deficit, let's call that at 2,000 calorie range, is 500 under for me to cut at. Now, I add 500 on top of that, puts me at 2,500. Now, let's say I ate even 1,000 calories over what I'm normally eating and put myself at 3,000 calories for those 7 days. All I'm gaining in that total span of 7 days is 1 pound, which I could then lose in 1 week later. Vacation, I binge eat, I do whatever. Let's just call it 1,000 extra calories, which is a full meal over what I'm normally eating. And normal meals, if you guys have watched the videos, is like a big Chipotle bowl, another big meal, or spread out between eggs and oatmeal and some type of snack to hit my 2,000 calories. So 2,500, that's something from McDonald's already added on top, or a cinnamon roll or something. And then another 500, I could be eating 3 big meals a day. So what my body's normally used to, I would literally have to be binge eating to hit over that anyway. But we're going to call it 3,000 to 3,500. I'm going up a pound or 2 in a total span of the 7-day vacation. So you eat what you want, you do what you got to do. You worry about the scale later, because the scale might say that you're up 5 to 10 pounds after a crazy vacation like that, but chances are you gained 1, 2, maybe max 3 pounds in that duration, and the rest is from bloating and your diet just fluctuating based on water weight, based on the sodium, or your carb intake messing with your water retention or something like that. It's generally going to be a much more water weight than it is the actual weight that you put on, so keep that in mind. So why would you get back on track? How do you get back on track? The simple answer is I got home Sunday night, I went to bed, I woke up Monday morning, and guess what? I was already back on track. I intermittent fasted, I had my Monster, I had a cup of coffee, I didn't eat till 2:30, my normal meal was Chipotle, got that at 2:30, and I'm back on track. Simple as that. Didn't even look at the scale, didn't even care how much I gained, because I'm back at it. I went to the gym, did my thing, and that's it. That's the simple answer. So why would you do that? Why would you not just say, okay, well, I'm not gaining that much weight? And the answer is because it does add up. So you have to look at it as, how long is it now going to take me to get back that 7 days? Well, if I gained 1 pound, it's going to take me a week to catch back up. If I gained 2, we'll call it 2 weeks. If I gain 3 pounds, it's going to take me 3 weeks to catch back up. So if you continue it another week and bring it up to 4 to 6 pounds, let's say, now you're looking at 2 months to catch back up, or something like that. So the point is, the longer you go, the longer it's going to take to catch up, and then longer to get back on track. So while I'm saying it's okay to go away for a week and put yourself a little behind because this is vacation, I am saying it's smart to get right back on track. And the way you do that is to literally forget about the week of vacation and get right back to it, because you know how long it's going to take to catch up, how long it's going to take to then get ahead. Well, like I was saying with the holiday eating, you could take off, you could eat whatever you want, and you get right back on track as soon as you get back. So one thing that I noticed that is harder is that I got back to the gym. After only working out 3 days in the 9-day vacation, I got back and my body was a little sluggish to get back into it. My sleep and recovery wasn't fully caught up, so I got back and I was doing some supersets and I wasn't recovering as fast. Some of the weight felt like I was a little weaker, and I just didn't have it the first day back. That was yesterday. So that is going to take some time. I feel like by the end of the week I'll be fully back into it. I'll be fully recovered and I'll be ready to go. But that's another thing that you got to get right back into. Whether it's on day one just getting in cardio or just being active, get right back on track with your workouts, and that'll just bring it up immediately. On vacation, if you're able to get in the cardio, you don't have to get to the gym. It's alright to take a week off. But the main point of this video that I wanted to get across is it's important to get right back on track, regardless of it's holiday eating, vacation, or just falling off for whatever reason. Maybe you had a family party or a get-together over the weekend. Whatever it is, you get right back on track, and that's the quickest way to catch yourself back up. That's the main thing I wanted to cover during this video, but I also wanted to make it clear that it's not just you that has a hard time starting or picking it back up. It's every single person. So remember that, because it's me as well. I just went on a 9-day trip. I binge ate on Thanksgiving beforehand. Now I have to get right back to it. And I know what it's like and how long it's going to take to catch up, so I know the best thing to do is to start right away and get into it. As always, if you guys have any questions on how to get back into it or what you're supposed to even do to get started, leave some comments, smash the thumbs up button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are able to get right back on track after vacation or after Thanksgiving or after Christmas. I want to keep these videos kind of oriented towards that just because we're still in the holidays. There's so much weight gain during the holidays that doesn't have to take place. You can take these little breaks and then get right back into it without having to gain excessive amounts of weight. I'm going to take off again for Christmas. I'm going to get right back into it the next day. Then I'm going to take off again for New Year's. Going to get right back into it the next day. So that's how it's working for me. I hope you guys do the same thing. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything specific, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey guys, I love pepperoni, and if you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and check out the links below, I'll get to eat more pepperoni, like, cause I'm a puppy, and I love pepperoni. Please, get me more pepperoni. I just need it. Oh yes, pepperoni's so good. Please subscribe and like.